Imagine doing something so simple, so small, yet so powerful that it attracts mercy, removes hardship, and invites blessings into your home. No expensive donations, no complicated rituals, just kindness to the creation of Allah. What if I told you that feeding certain animals can become a source of wealth, not only in your bank account, but in your heart, your family, and your life? Stay with me, because these 4 acts of compassion might be the reason your du'as are answered sooner than you expect. Compassion is not weakness, nor is it merely an emotional response. It is a powerful spiritual force that attracts the mercy of Allah into a person's life. When the heart softens toward the creation of Allah, Allah softens the world for that person. Many people search for blessings in complex actions, yet overlook how deeply Allah loves kindness shown quietly, sincerely, and consistently. Compassion begins within the heart, but its effects are seen in the home, the family, the sustenance, and even in moments of difficulty that somehow become easier to bear. A heart that carries mercy becomes a vessel ready to receive divine favor, because Allah's mercy descends where mercy is practiced. When a person shows compassion, they are reflecting one of the most beloved qualities in the sight of Allah. This compassion may be toward people, animals, or any living being, but its source is the same, a heart that recognizes that all creation belongs to Allah. Such a heart does not see itself as superior, but as responsible. When you feed the hungry, help the weak, or show care to those who cannot speak for themselves, you align yourself with a divine principle that never fails. Allah sees what others overlook, and He rewards in ways that the human mind cannot calculate. Sometimes the blessing comes as increased wealth, sometimes as protection from harm, sometimes as peace in the home, and sometimes as doors opening at the most unexpected moments. Compassion also transforms the person who practices it. It removes hardness from the soul and replaces it with humility. A compassionate person becomes more grateful, more patient, and more aware of the countless favors already surrounding them. This inner transformation is itself a form of blessing, because gratitude attracts increase. When you give without expecting, Allah gives without limits. When you show mercy without conditions, Allah envelops you in mercy without measure. Even the smallest compassionate act done sincerely can outweigh years of heedlessness and become a reason for forgiveness, elevation, and unseen support in moments of need. Homes built on compassion are homes filled with barakah. Children raised seeing kindness learn empathy, spouses grow closer through gentleness, and hearts find rest, knowing that Allah never ignores a merciful soul. Compassion invites blessings because it aligns the servant with the way Allah deals with His creation, responding to softness with generosity, to humility with honor, and to mercy with mercy that flows quietly into every corner of life. Feeding animals is one of the most overlooked yet powerful forms of sadaqah, because it requires neither wealth nor recognition, only sincerity and a living heart. Many people limit charity to human interactions, forgetting that Allah created all beings and sustains them all. When a person places food or water for an animal, they are not simply feeding a creature, they are responding to a need that Allah Himself allowed them to witness. This act becomes a silent transaction between the servant and Allah, unseen by people but fully recorded by the one who misses nothing. The beauty of this sadaqah lies in its purity, because animals cannot praise you, thank you, or return the favor, leaving the intention untouched by ego. Every hungry animal carries a test for the human soul. Will you walk past, or will you pause and act? In that moment of decision, sadaqah is born. A handful of grains for birds, leftover food for a stray, or water placed in the heat of the day may seem insignificant to the one giving, but in the sight of Allah, it can outweigh acts that appear far greater. Feeding animals nurtures mercy within the heart, and mercy is a currency that never loses value. Allah multiplies reward not based on the size of the action, but on the sincerity behind it, and sincerity is often strongest in quiet deeds done without witnesses. This form of charity also teaches reliance on Allah and detachment from excess. When a person feeds an animal, they acknowledge that provision comes from Allah alone and that they are merely a means. This realization humbles the heart and removes arrogance, reminding the soul that just as the animal depends on Allah, so does the human being. Such awareness draws a person closer to gratitude, and gratitude invites increase. Many people experience unexpected ease in their affairs after engaging in small acts of charity, not because the act was large, but because it unlocked divine generosity. Feeding animals is sadaqah that continues beyond the moment it is given. The strength gained by the animal, the relief from hunger, and the life sustained all carry ongoing reward. Even if the animal moves on and is never seen again, the impact remains written. This is charity that flows quietly into the scales, building weight over time, sometimes becoming the reason for forgiveness, sometimes becoming protection from hardship, and sometimes becoming a source of light in the darkest moments of a person's life. Many people spend their lives chasing wealth, believing it exists only in currency, possessions, or numbers on a screen. This narrow understanding creates constant anxiety because money can come and go, fluctuate, disappear, or lose its value overnight. True wealth, however, is far broader and far deeper than financial gain. Wealth is peace in the heart when the world is chaotic, contentment when others are restless, and gratitude when circumstances are uncertain. A person may have little in their hands yet feel rich, while another may possess abundance and still feel deprived. This is because real wealth is a state of the soul before it is ever reflected in material form. Wealth shows itself in the blessings that cannot be purchased. A calm mind, a sound body, a loving family, and a home filled with tranquility are treasures beyond price. When Allah grants these gifts, they protect a person from many forms of misery that money alone cannot solve. A person with true wealth sleeps with a heart free from envy, wakes with purpose, and moves through life with trust in Allah. This inner richness shapes how one reacts to hardship, because trials do not break a wealthy soul, they refine it. Such a person understands that loss is not always poverty, and difficulty is not always punishment. Barakah is the essence of true wealth. It is the unseen increase that allows little to be enough and makes much feel fulfilling. Two people may earn the same amount, yet one struggles constantly while the other finds ease, generosity, and satisfaction. This difference lies not in income, but in blessing. Barakah stretches provision, calms fears, and aligns life in ways that defy logic. It allows a person to give without feeling depleted and to live without being consumed by want. This form of wealth comes through obedience, gratitude, and reliance on Allah, not through endless accumulation. Understanding that wealth is not only money frees the heart from obsession and comparison. It allows a person to appreciate what they have instead of constantly longing for what they lack. When this perspective settles in the heart, generosity becomes natural, patience becomes easier, and trust in Allah becomes stronger. Such a person measures success not by what they own, but by how they live, how they treat others, and how close they are to their Creator. This understanding reshapes priorities, softens ambitions, and replaces fear of loss with certainty that whatever Allah gives or withholds carries wisdom and mercy beyond human perception. Intent is the unseen foundation of every action, the silent force that gives weight, value, and meaning to what a person does. Two people may perform the same deed, yet one is elevated while the other gains nothing beyond the moment itself. This difference lies not in the action, but in the intention carried within the heart. Allah does not look at appearances, outcomes, or recognition. He looks at sincerity. When an action is rooted in a desire to please Allah alone, it becomes something far greater than what is visible. Even the smallest act, when driven by a pure intention, can outweigh deeds that appear impressive but are hollow at their core. A sincere intention transforms ordinary actions into worship. Feeding an animal, helping a neighbor, or offering a simple smile can become acts of devotion when done for the sake of Allah. Without the right intent, actions remain limited to this world, earning praise, gratitude, or nothing at all. With the right intent, they travel beyond the seen world and are preserved as everlasting reward. This awareness encourages the believer to focus less on how much they do and more on why they do it. The heart becomes vigilant, constantly correcting itself, reminding itself that Allah alone is the ultimate witness and rewarder. Intent also protects the heart from arrogance and disappointment. When actions are done for people, the heart becomes dependent on their reactions, approval, or acknowledgement. When that approval is missing, bitterness grows. But when actions are done for Allah, the heart remains at peace, regardless of how others respond. Sincerity frees a person from the need to be seen, praised, or remembered. It allows them to give quietly, sacrifice patiently, and serve consistently, knowing that nothing is ever lost with Allah. This inner peace is itself a reward that many overlook. The purity of intent determines the lasting impact of an action. Deeds rooted in sincerity continue to benefit a person even after they are forgotten by people. They become a source of light in moments of darkness and a means of support during hardship. Intent shapes not only the reward, but the spiritual growth of the individual. It refines the soul, strengthens humility, and deepens reliance on Allah. A heart that constantly renews its intention remains alive, aware, and connected to its purpose. Such a heart understands that success is not measured by results alone, but by faithfulness to sincerity in every step, regardless of how small or unseen the action may be. Everything in existence is linked by the wisdom and decree of Allah, forming a system where no creation stands alone or exists without purpose. From the largest mountain to the smallest insect, each plays a role in a balance that the human eye often fails to notice. When a person understands that creation is connected, their perspective changes. They no longer see the world as a place of random events, but as a carefully woven design where actions ripple outward in ways unseen. Every interaction, no matter how small, leaves an impact that returns in forms only Allah fully understands. The connection between creation is not merely physical, it is spiritual. When a person shows kindness to a living being, that act does not end with the moment itself. It travels through the unseen, becoming a reason for ease, protection, or relief from hardship. Just as harm done to creation brings consequences, mercy shown brings openings. Allah has tied His mercy to the mercy we show, making the treatment of creation a reflection of the state of the heart. A heart that recognizes this connection becomes careful, gentle, and conscious, knowing that nothing exists in isolation. This interconnectedness teaches responsibility. Humans were given a position of stewardship, not dominance without accountability. When animals are fed, when the environment is respected, when even small creatures are spared harm, it maintains a balance that benefits everyone. Neglect, cruelty, or arrogance disrupt this balance and invite unrest into the soul before it ever appears in the world. The believer understands that harmony in life begins with harmony in how one interacts with Allah's creation. Peace in the heart often mirrors peace in actions toward others, including those who cannot speak or defend themselves. Recognizing that creation is connected also nurtures humility. It reminds a person that they are part of a greater system, not the center of it. Every breath depends on air, every meal on countless processes beyond human control. This awareness softens pride and strengthens gratitude. When a person moves through life with this understanding, they walk lightly upon the earth, aware that every step, word, and action matters. Such awareness deepens faith because it reveals the constant presence of Allah's wisdom in the smallest details, making the believer more mindful, more compassionate, and more conscious of their role within the greater design of existence. Many people underestimate the power of small deeds, believing that only grand actions carry weight and significance. This misunderstanding causes countless opportunities for reward to pass unnoticed every single day. In reality, Allah has placed immense value in simple actions precisely because they are easy to perform and accessible to everyone. A kind word, a gentle gesture, a moment of patience, or a quiet act of care may appear insignificant to the human eye, yet in the sight of Allah, they can outweigh actions that demand effort but lack sincerity. Simplicity does not diminish value, rather, it often enhances it, because simple actions are more likely to be performed consistently and purely. The greatness of a reward is not always tied to the difficulty of the action, but to the intention, timing, and need it fulfills. A person may give a large amount once, while another gives a little repeatedly, quietly, and with a sincere heart. Allah multiplies what He wills, and sometimes a small deed becomes heavy on the scales because it was done when it mattered most. Simple actions performed during moments of ease or hardship reflect a heart that remains conscious of Allah at all times. This consistency is beloved because it shows faith that is alive, not occasional. Simple actions also train the soul to remain alert and mindful. When a person begins to see opportunity for reward in everyday moments, life itself becomes a field of worship. Feeding an animal, removing harm from a path, sharing what little one has, or choosing patience over anger, all become means of drawing closer to Allah. These actions require no announcement, no preparation, and no validation. Their strength lies in their quiet nature, performed without expectation of praise. Such deeds purify the heart from showing off and strengthen reliance on Allah alone. Great rewards attached to simple actions demonstrate Allah's mercy toward His servants. He makes the path to goodness easy, not restricted to the wealthy, the strong, or the learned. Anyone, regardless of status or ability, can earn closeness to Allah through small, sincere deeds. This understanding brings hope, especially to those who feel limited in what they can offer. When simple actions are valued, no day feels wasted, no effort feels meaningless, and no person feels incapable of earning Allah's pleasure. Each moment becomes a chance, each action a seed, growing quietly into reward that may appear when it is needed most, in this life or the next. When all these meanings come together, they form a powerful reminder that closeness to Allah is not found only in grand gestures, but in the quiet consistency of faith lived with sincerity. Compassion softens the heart and invites blessings. Feeding animals becomes a form of charity that speaks without words. Wealth reveals itself beyond money. Intention gives life to actions. Creation reflects a deep connection woven by divine wisdom, and simple deeds rise to great reward through Allah's mercy. This understanding reshapes how a believer walks through life, turning ordinary moments into opportunities for worship and transforming small acts into bridges toward divine pleasure. A heart that lives with awareness, mercy, and sincerity never runs out of chances to earn reward, because Allah has made the path to Him wide, gentle, and open to every soul willing to walk it with humility and purpose.